I don't know how you accurately predict this matchup, Josh. There's so many variables here, so many factors. I will say, maybe seeing a little bit of discomfort on the side of Pandora. Wallace has been really confident and really collected throughout the week, but we've seen today a lot of people learning the hard lesson.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a live stage, so everything you've seen all year, it matters. I mean, that's how these players got here, but really, it's what can you do this weekend?
Log for Pandora, bar barrel for Wallace. Variations on a theme here as both are playing minor.
The bar barrel might make it difficult once the game goes into overtime and triple elixir. You're not going to be able to get that small spell chip damage that the log minor deck will have.
So is this minor loon now with the bar barrel and the monk both in the mix?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it all day. The snowball has been such an important card, and I would assume it's going to be snowball, loon, maybe a build-in, not sure what that last card would be. There we go, bomb tower. That does make sense if it is loon.
And you see a little bit of a difference here with playing the monk ability late. Once the Little Prince gets into that full speed to make sure the counter does take the champion all the way off the board. Minute 40 left. And so far, very tight, 28:07 on the top right-hand tower of Pandora, 26:42, the lead for Pandora with that damage on Wallace's bottom right side.
Both players playing relatively slow. Pandora has to be careful about, spending way too much elixir. It's going to allow for an easy loon opposite lane if he does so. Wallace, on the other hand, he's just waiting for that double, triple elixir where he can start to get those balloon pushes in.
And going bomb tower to hold here, which will also help against this minor. Goblins to pick up. Bomb tower now going to do triple duty here, going back up against the Little Prince.
Little Prince not able to get a shot, but it will activate the ability right there. And Wallace has not played a card, needs to use the snowball in order to redirect the Guardian.
And you saw the eyebrow raise from Wallace there, a bit surprised that actually made it out as the Little Prince was dead, gone, buried, and already had a eulogy before that Guardian came on the board.
Right there, Evoed Archers at the bridge. Minor on top of the bomb tower. I don't think it's going to be able to take it out all the way, though. Oh, it does. Okay, that should be a shot. Can it get two? No. Just one shot, but does take the lead after the death damage.
1689 to now a little chipping coming in from the minor with the knight tanking for it. Archers have to come in low. Poison value available for Pandora.
Those Evo Archers are so strong right now, heading into overtime right here. Wallace potentially getting aggressive. No, just going to delay a little bit. There we go. Now going on the aggressive route.
Loon in, bomb tower high, but again, Wallace trying to get his bomb tower to do so many things all at the same time. Gets the Little Prince off the board from the top, but once again, the lead swinging back to Pandora.
But this is the thing with Loon decks. You can take a little bit of a deficit. They can start taking the lead. You only need one or two good pushes in a game. So far, we've seen one good push from Wallace. Now Wallace just needs to put together a second one. It's going to be a lot easier with the elixir flowing. It's just dependent on whether or not Pandora can defend properly.
Wallace played very little balloon during the CRL season. Only one game did get the win. You have to imagine that Jose VTS, his coach, was trying to be unpredictable here in this matchup. So far, though, it has been Pandora getting the advantage.
Right there, going in with the loon in the back, trying to set himself up with a double loon push. First loon, not going to be the dangerous one. It's that second loon that is so powerful.
And poison to slow it down. The minor does not get there in time to tank for the balloon. Snowball to slow it down, and it does connect. Oh my word! The lead swings to Wallace in our final minute.
Right there, bomb tower 2 to defend. A big push coming in from Pandora, getting the tower down to 965. But Wallace, let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to attack with just the miners, or is he going to go in with one more loon push?
These poisons are a huge problem for Wallace, as he does not have the same ability to create direct damage on the tower. You see the minor not getting it done. Loon in for the pressure. Poison in for Pandora. 30 seconds left.
Beautiful adjustment. He wants the balloon to get tanked. The minor on top of the tower. 115, 66.
17 HP left. Log in. Is the loon going to get there? Yes, it will. Wallace takes game number 1. Game number 2 to kick off. The longer you wait, sometimes the more the stress builds, and you see a big gulp here and a big breath in from Pandora as we jump in to our second round. And the only action so far, some confetti. And are we going to have our very first World Final Staring Contest, Josh?
You'd like to see that. I like all types of contests, and you have to imagine if they're going to be competing in this, they're going to be competing at the highest level in everything they do.
Well, there we go. Finally getting in to a little bit of something. Bar Barrel Archers. Did Pandora just go copy deck? Nope, Tombstone comes out.
Wallace splitting barbs in the back. We're not going to see E-Golem, right? You wouldn't think that we're going to see that on this stage.
That would be wild, and looking like Sparky here is probably the more likely pick as it comes out. Right at that moment, Bowler for the Evolved Barbarians will be nice, and the Electro Giant aggressive in the opposite lane. Barbs out of cycle, and he has to use a pump to pull the Electro Giant. Will it get away in time? The Lightning takes everything off the board. That's going to be a lot of early damage for Pandora.
And no pump in cycle, so that way Pandora can get aggressive right here, getting the tower all the way down to 1958. A very strong opening push from Pandora. You have to be so careful. You've used your Barbs and your Sparky. Those are the two tank-destroying cards. I'm not sure if he should have tried anything else, maybe trying just waste the minions or something. Using those two cards right there in succession, a huge mistake for him.
And Sparky's up as we get closer to double elixir time. Does not want to get caught in the same situation as he had last time, but pick your poison at this point, right? 21:59 left-hand side, 15:30 on the right-hand side, and Wallace, it's very possible that he would just ignore a push in the right-hand lane of the stage.
Right here, going in, and there we go. We see the pump. I mean, this is how you play Sparky Goblin Giant Pump. You want to get slight pushes going in, make your opponent think that you're getting aggressive, but really you're just trying to get those elixir advantages and eventually be able to overwhelm.
And that was a nice fireball there to clear off the Evolved Archers as the Goblin Giant sets up one more time to the left-hand side, and we're not seeing any play being made on that pump, not wanting to use the Lightning all the way back there without extra value.
And right there, Pandora, I mean, he has a huge lead, but you can see him kind of flinch once he played that Sparky in the back. He has such a big lead, but it looks like Wallace just has the advantage. The elixir is flowing for him.
Evo Barbs with the raged up Goblin Giant, raged up Sparky, just spamming right now. Is Wallace on the right-hand side, but he's not going to get a ton out of this.
Into the tower all the way down to 23:04, but nothing more. Wallace just going to set up with another pump. Again, exactly what you want to do when you're playing these Sparky pump decks.
Barbs in cycle this time. Fireball does not get the Archer to see Wallace shake his head. That was not what he was hoping for. And now the NATO clears, and this should be enough to get this tower all the way down. Pandora takes game number 2.
Oh my goodness, misses the fireball. Oh, you hate to see that.
Let's go ahead and jump into game number 3, the swing match, right now. And no fireball available for Wallace. He has been playing bowler bridge spam a whole lot throughout this last little run. He did get number 1 on ranked with it a couple days ago. That does take both Fireball and Snowball both out though, so that makes some of Pandora's deck picking maybe just a little bit easier. And both players taking their time as it's Skeleton Barrel. Open at the bridge here from Wallace, right into a pair of dragons.
We saw a lot of players having fun with the Skeleton Barrel, the clones, the expos. I don't think that we're going to see it in this game.
Looks like double bait most likely here from Wallace. We'll see if he goes into a Mega Knight direction as he goes Spears left-hand lane. Lumberjack at the bridge to pick up that Dark Goblin.
Right there, you don't have the miner anymore, so you can't get that constant chip damage with that, but that's why he chose to do Skeleton Barrel. He's always going to be able to get to the tower with that. Well, not always, but usually.
So, of course, talked about Wallace playing some bridge spam earlier. Different look on bridge spam here out of Pandora as he's going with Recruits, the Lava Hand, the Lumberjack, and our Ram Rider.
So we're gonna see a lot, and double recruits action. Love seeing that. It's going to be a very hectic game, and I love those. They are so fun to cast.
Well, the recruits do force you to decide, should they go to the left, right, or middle? Big challenge there, decision making.
Right there, Skeleton King to clean up. Once the recruits are going to be taken out on the right side, should be able to pop his ability if he wants to, but Mother Witch is going to be a great response for literally every single card in Wallace's hands.
This is brutal for Wallace, and great read here from Pandora with the fireball out. Not sure what the spell situation is here for Wallace, feeling like maybe it's arrows.
Yeah, Wallace is going to have to completely adjust his game plan. The fact that he has the Mother Witch to worry about now means that he can't really just cycle Skeleton Barrels hoping that he's going to get chip damage on the tower. He's going to have to win. I mean, I guess by the Mortars and the Royal Recruits, he can no longer win by the Skeleton Barrels.
Skelly King right at the bridge into a Goblin Cage as we jump into double elixir time. And it feels like there's already a bit of an advantage here potentially for Pandora, but you add in double elixir. Does that grow here, Josh, as that Ram Rider not getting pulled by the mortar? Charged up connection, and a huge lead opens up for Pandora.
Yep, getting the tower down to 1629, now in the lead by 1,000 HP, and the Dark Goblin wiped off of the board. Pandora has the elixir advantage, the tower damage, and the matchup advantage. This is his game to lose right now.
And Skeleton Barrel, when the Mother Witch is out of cycle, kind of the only option here for Wallace, does not really have the desire to deal with a bunch of pigs going the opposite direction. As we go into sudden death, big lead opened up for Pandora as Wallace tries to make the conversation go away from his weak side tower.
Right there, fireball on the right side tower. Spear Goblins plus the Dark Goblin to clean everything up. I think one of the recruits might get a chip shot. And yes, gets the tower down to 1178. Wallace needs to figure something out quickly, but I'm racking my brain. I don't know what he's supposed to do. This is such a tough matchup.
Yeah, this is definitely rough for Wallace, and playing this one from behind already. Ram Rider in should go to the mortar, as it's not going to fall quite yet, but it touches and turns, and there you go. Look at that. He has finally done it. Pandora gets his first